Oh, all right, look. Put those down. They said it couldn't be done. I thought it couldn't be done. Physics, science, all these different components and factions coming together in disbelief at my true ability for ingenuity and fucking genius. Took a couple fucking parts and screws and levers and springs and shit. But we've done it. I've developed a car that can drive to the moon. And I figured, like, you know, the world's pretty fucked right now. Pretty fucked right now. And I'm thinking, you know what, I need a break, I need a breather, I need some fresh air. So I'm gonna go to a place where there is no air, and I'm gonna take you guys with me. So, buckle in. So I'm gonna go jump in the car. Alright guys, are you ready for this? In T-minus 3, 2, 1, blast off! Fuck yeah! Dos. And we're here. Just let me put on my spacesuit. Fuck me, man. Look, we're here. It's the moon. You guys know the moon, right? You remember the moon? One small step for man, one giant leap for fuckheads everywhere. They're calling it the pisshead revolution. Did you know that this is actually the first time man's ever been to the moon? Right, it's fucking beautiful. Look at it. Just look at it. What's that little thing on the... Do you call it a horizon? Does it count as a horizon if we're on the moon? What the fuck is that?
It's really bad for the environment. It's doing devastating ecological damage. I love that place.
Oh fuck. Well, the moon's a bust. I'm probably not going to go back there. It seems a little bit dangerous. Football, eh? Football. The energy's back. Can you feel it? Can you sense it? It's a happy drunk today. It's not a sad drunk. It's a fucking... Ew! Had the first week of uni, push that through. We're getting closer to the end of the year. Things are wrapping up, you know. End of the year in terms of footy. Like the season's wrapping up. It's getting really intense. The top fucking 9 is like slipping and sliding. People are doing ladder predictors and it's like, oh, does Brisbane finish top 2 or do they not make the 8? Like, it's crazy tight right now. And especially with some of the results from last week, I'll be going through them all as always, but there's a lot of fucking interesting ones that, like, a lot of amazing performances from underdog teams that, you know, bar like one game, this was top 9 versus bottom 9 for the entire round, and usually those rounds suck. Usually they're blowout games and they're fucking, you know, you expect what's gonna happen, but this week, nah, lots of interesting shit, lots of great performances from young teams, lots to talk about. So let's get straight into it with the first game of the recap, the Hawks and the Pies. Now, I got this game wrong, and that's, I think, it's not 2 weeks in a row, but our game, like the Dogs and Giants game, and then this one, I both tipped the wrong team, and the margin was so fucking big that my work tipping comp, I'm going for the wooden spoon. There are cunts that haven't tipped in 3 weeks, and I'm doing that bad that I'm clawing downwards. Spiraling. Hawkball is officially back. We'll talk about the Pies in a second, but first, the Hawks look tough, bro. They looked good, and they looked good the week prior against Adelaide. I remember fucking thinking, like, Jesus, I think Adelaide's just a slight bit better. I think that Hawthorn brand would have beaten a lot of fucking teams in the top 8. It was a very high intensive game that week, and then this week, bit of a flex of the muscles on the Pies, on the top team that we all like, that I was saying, we're such a systematic threat. That system kind of crumbling. Now, is it the collie wobbles or it like, it's all, we don't know. We'll get fucking brains, you know, calm, chill, bro. There was a lot of intensity. Like, I was at the game, there was like so much atmosphere, you know. We had some great seats as well. Big ups in the fucking no man badlands, but I don't know, it was a good little spot out on the wing up in the top level, kind of fucking, couldn't really see what exactly who was who, but you know, you figure it out. But there was this buzz about the place. It was set to be the gladiator bash and crash that we all thought it was gonna be. And then Jai Newcomb just fucking murders Jeremy Howe legally. I want to make that very clear. Nothing in the bump. If anything, on the replay, there are some angles where it kind of looks like Howe is the one that turns into it and crashes his own head. Like he's the one that whips the neck into the movement. Newcomb tackled, he didn't bump. There was like nothing in it. Didn't stop the fucking Collingwood fans for booing the fuck out of Newcomb. And I said to me, brother, we were all sitting there going, I don't know why everyone's fucking booing. There was nothing in that at all. It was just pure accident. I'm sitting there going, that's a good way to jinx Collingwood to lose. And I said it then, and I think I like reaffirmed the jinx because you know, I'm like tapped into spiritually and I'm God. But you know, like everyone's going, oh, what the fuck? Play stops, and then there's a bit of that lull, and then Howe's out for a fair while, stiff-armed fucking, like he's fucking done. It was a big bump, big clash. Jai Newcomb is just too much of a unit, too much of a brick shithouse to just fucking crash into like that. Newcomb bounced up pretty fine. Like, you know, past HIA, he's all good. Thought it was good that they got him down to the rooms, calm him down a bit, you know, like bringing him back out, and then he started playing some fuck. He ripped the game apart, and he was one of Hawthorn's best on the ground. That's big mentally to be able to do that, and I think that, you know, speaks to a bit of that Hawthorn hunger. They're not gonna fucking take whatever the crowd boo and shit like that. They're not gonna take it in. They're gonna embrace it and fucking run with it. But how, you know, that hurts Collingwood. That hurts their defense in general. He's a very important piece of their defensive structure, especially when Darcy Moore and fucking Houston are playing like ratchet. But I think it really shook up both the crowd and the players. Like, the energy just got fucking sucked out of it. And I thought that this was gonna spice the game up. I thought it was gonna get really fucking aggressive and sort of tit for tat, like really like a lot in it. There should have been a lot in it. There's a lot on the line, you know? It was primed to be so fucking violent and shit. And the Collingwood boys kind of just fell away. They kind of went into their own shells a bit. They were fumbling, like everything. Nerves were evident for the first time. I think that it was so obvious that the system that we go on about Collingwood was, it had fallen right away. And they were all at sea a lot in this game. Darcy Moore literally fucking ruck tapping the ball to Nick Watson to give Hawthorn the first goal. I think that's very symbolic of how that game played out. It wasn't the Pies' night at fucking all, which it should have been, because they've, 4 out of the last 5 they've lost, and it's bad position for them to be in. And the Hawks were good. The Hawks were really good. In particular, I fucking hate the Wizard, but Jesus, he's good. You know, I don't actually hate him. I just hate the duck and shit, and I think that he is the one that in my brain goes, he ducks the most, I hate him the most. Fucking Peatling ducks all the fucking time, and I don't really give him as much shit. There's a bunch of people that do it. There's cunts on our team that fucking do it, you know. I think McMahon, maybe it was, the other week, did a pretty shifty duck, and it didn't look too good, but, you know, the Wizards of Watsonley Place, he just kept lighting it up. I don't like him in the center, I'll be real. I don't think that his body and his run is really suited for it. I get that they're rotating him in, giving him a few minutes, getting him up and involved, but I don't know, that move isn't for me necessarily. I don't think that's the development that you should push for him. Big Jath, CJ coming back was sick. He was stat padding for a little bit at the start there. He was just getting fucking every disposal on the planet. Big shout out to Morwell, the goated place of Origin. Fucking Lloyd Meek was going for the Coleman. He kicked a 3, like, what the fuck? He was gun as fuck. He just bullied Cameron for the majority of the night. Like, it wasn't like the biggest ruck domination I've ever seen, but he was moving across the ground like so much quicker, so much better. He was just getting into every position that he needed to be in, and he was winning the vast majority of what he needed. It was pretty dominant. And then fucking Jarman Impey, again, 800 fucking disposals. I don't know how many, but he was going crazy. He was involved in a lot. He had a lot of run. A lot of the Hawthorn boys played really well. Now, on a Collingwood side of things, this was also like Steele Sidebottom's 350th game. Steele is a legend of the club, an absolute fucking legend of the club. He played like shit. I'm not, you know, Collingwood boys let him down, and that's something that fucking Craig talked about, like, in the after thing. But I think he honestly, like, let himself down. He was playing fucking rat shit. Like, if you just had never seen a fucking Steele Sidebottom game and you watch that and you go, oh, how the fuck did he make it to 350? It was horrible. Decision making was horrible. Skill error was horrible. And that's like across the entire team, but in particular, these key players played like shit. Nick Dacos, one of the worst games I've ever seen him fucking play. One of the worst games I've ever seen him play. Start him on the bench, conversation around that's a load of fucking wank. How about when he was on the field, what he was doing? So fucking bad. Fumbling. Cracking the shits. There's so many fucking like moments where he was walking around with his fucking hands on his hips, just in the wrong position. The ball would come into the area and he'd have to sprint run, and it would look like he's like running down for a chase, but he could have got that chase if he just got in the right position originally. Like, it was like literally junior level stuff he was fucking up. He was cracking the shits about not getting fucking hands off and disposals. He was sloppy, he was sliding around. Whether he's injured or this is just a bad patch of form for one of the, like, you know, the best players in the modern era, I'm still gonna like hold around that. Fuck, it was bad though. Holy fuck, it was just shocking. Pendlebury did fucking nothing. Elliott was quiet as fucking missed a few. I think he was burning it, like, burnt the goalie in the center at one stage, and the goalie standing there like, and like, I was fucking looking up there like that, you fucking, I don't know. Strange. Who else? Dan Houston played like fucking garbage as well. I don't know what's going on with him at all. Cameron was, like I said, underwhelming as fuck, and definitely beaten on the night. The rest of them were pretty lazy. The two players that I will give credit to for Collingwood. Lachie Schultz, his pressure tackle was enormous. I think he was probably their best on. And then my Checker. Checkers, he was really good as well. And I think those two were the only ones I can think that were giving it 100%, and their effort looked hungry. It looked angry, and it looked like they wanted to fucking be there and wanted to win. The rest of the team sort of looked like they gave up after the big hit, which was in the first like couple fucking minutes of the game. Definitely didn't see that coming. And I don't know if this is panic stations on Collingwood. I feel like it is, well, it's panic stations, but I don't know if it's like throw the baby out with the bathwater. Is that the saying? What the fuck does that mean? I don't know, probably something fucking weird. Yeah, didn't expect it. I've been rambling about this game for way too long. Hot ball. Cats and the Bombers. The Bombers looked alright in this. I'm not gonna lie. The Cats won pretty comfortably, but there were real patches in this where I thought that Essendon, despite all the lists and everything like that, they showed a lot of grit. Jezza, no luck here. No luck on even making 80 goals for the season so far. Got a fucking word of that like stupid, but no luck for Jezza. He wasn't having the best night, and even when he was getting rewarded the world's most worst free kick of all time, maybe, question mark, exclamation mark, yeah, couldn't do it. And I think that the 100 within the home and away season, that's officially dead. It's still definitely possible for him to kick it in the finals, which I hope still happens. I really do still hope that happens, but I was really kind of hoping that we could get the 100 within the home and away season, because I don't know when that's going to happen again. I don't know if it'll happen again. So, well, it didn't happen this year. And I'm forgetting his name, which is horrible, but the new player for Essendon, I think he's like the first Vietnamese player in the AFL. He's gun as fuck. He shut down Stengel to no goals, and I think Papley only got one on him last week, and he's got a bit of swag about him. You know, he's got a bit of toughness. I really like him. I really like what he's bringing to the table. There's a lot of young talent at Essendon that is pretty exciting, and you know that feels weird as someone that's like, oh fuck the Bombers or whatever. But they got a lot of young players that I think will develop well, and I think there's a lot to look forward to there as an Essendon fan. It's just not going to come for maybe 2-3 years, but it's there. Richmond and the Saints. Look, the Tigers nearly got this one here, and I didn't actually think it was going to be as close as it was. I don't know. I don't know if I'm underestimating some of these bottom teams or overestimating St Kilda. When the Saints are at their best, I think they're pretty dangerous, but they keep fucking, I don't know, putting up performances that it's like, wow, if Nazaya doesn't turn it on, this game they lose. If Nazaya doesn't turn it on last week, obviously they lose that as well. But I mean, they were fucking bound to lose that even. Words are difficult, but I don't know. I think I'm putting too much faith in the St Kilda outfit for whatever reason. Maurice Rioli has some of the best, like, putting on the Jets ability I think I've ever seen. He just picks up speed at the end of chases in this weird manner where you already think he's running flat track, and then he just creeps up a little bit, like goes a little bit faster and a little bit harder. He's going to be a really good pressure tackler, and he already is. He's probably got the best rundown tackle of the year. I want to give it to Libba, but I don't know. I think the Morris one is cooler. It's fucking sick. Now, there's a bit of a conspiracy going around here. Kingy and Cornsey, they're fucking promoting the idea that Richmond didn't want to win the game. Why didn't you tag Nass? Now, there's a good argument to be made about like instilling system into these young players and developing them as a system and a side rather than chasing, you know, winnable games. But got to get a winnable game, you know, you got to instill that winning culture. There's arguments for both sides, but that point, not necessarily. But the weirdest thing to me is like not activating the sub. Steely Green is a pretty gun small forward. He's fresh, he's young, and like in a game that is a goal the difference, when you're getting a fair few inside 50s, like, wouldn't you want to fucking activate him and get him into the game, get a little bit, like, I don't know why they didn't. I can't think of a single reason why they wouldn't activate the sub. Keeping him fresh for next week. He was going to be running around for fucking 15 minutes maybe. Like, what the fuck are we, I don't know. I don't know about the conspiracy, because they're not getting much like draft pick compensation. It's not beneficial for them to not be winning the game. I don't really know why they wouldn't want to, but unless it's just a mad blunder on Adam Uze's part, who I think Uze has been really good so far, so I don't know if I want to chalk up this massive blunder, but there was some fuckery afoot. Again, I don't know reasons, and I don't want to fucking say that he's trying to throw games, because I don't think he was trying to throw that game at all, and the players definitely weren't. They were trying their fucking heart out. I just think that there are a few structural things that you could do on the fly to make that game very much more within your reach, and they didn't do them, and they were like easy fixes. I'm confused, but whatever. Got the tip right. That's it. Brisbane and the Swans. Holy fuck. What the fuck? Who knew the grand final rematch was going to be fucking wicked? You know, what the fuck? And Sydney have been putting together some compelling form towards the end of the year. Don't get me wrong, they actually have, especially since Goulden and Papley came back in that block. They seem to have found a bit more of their form, a bit more of that dare, a bit more of that excitement. The way that they ran the ball was really really interesting. And I can't even say that Brisbane was shit in this game. I think they looked really good for the majority of it. I think the Swans were just undeniable. Like, the Swans looked very reminiscent of last year in patches of this game. Hugh McCluggage is goated as fuck, and he had a great game as well. I'm not trying to talk down him because I do genuinely reckon he is one of those people that sort of gets like missed by the wider discussion public. I know that a lot of the commentators really love him and shit like that. What do they call him? Hugh McDamage. That's fucking bad. Hugh McDamage and Sheezy Ball are some all-timers for, like, come on cunts, have we got nothing better to fucking call it? But alas, you know, like, as good as I genuinely think he is, his body, it just isn't the same as Lachie Neale. Cam Rayner's body isn't the same as Lachie Neale. There is no replacement for that Lachie Neale role in their midfield. The shit that he is able to do with ground ball, getting ground ball and just playing on the inside and flicking out handballs and shit, and Lachie Neale is not Bontempelli tier. He's not, but he is just slightly below that. You know what I mean? In the goats of the game conversation, where he's so honest in the way that he plays. He's so consistent. He has patches of bad form, whatever, but generally so consistent. And without him there, I don't know, just a little. They got cleaned up. They got taken to the cleaners. They didn't. It was close, but you know what I'm saying. Like it wasn't the same. And I think that Lachie Neale does probably make the difference in that game, which is a fucking no shit thing to say. Like, oh, one of your best players wasn't there. That would have made a fucking difference. Realities are realities. And look, when you got a player like Heaney lighting it the fuck up. He had 23 and 5. Okay, that's a god amongst men right there. When he wants to, he just takes the world on his shoulders and carries anyone to the promised land. As a fucking viewer, you watch him going, holy shit, that's what football can be sometimes. Like, he is very fucking impressive. And every time he does something like that, I just want everyone on the planet to remember that if Jack Buckley didn't fucking cradle him down as he took a screamer on Buckley's head, potentially mark of the year, except it was in the final, so, you know, can't be counted and shit. He took a screamer, Buckley cradled him down. Otherwise, he would have fucking compressed his neck and spine into, like, you know when you step on a can? That's what would have happened to his spinal cord. So I want everyone to thank Jack Buckley. Every time Heaney does something cool, plays a good game, thanks Jack Buckley, you're welcome. Pay the respect, give the flowers. Blues and Suns, listen, the Blues got up in the first little half of the game. Now, admittedly, it was only slightly, and it was in the first quarter, but they got up at the start. They looked hungry, and then they fell away. They gave out to pressure, and then they managed to scrape it back to a 20-point loss. How many fucking times are they going to lose this year by 20 points? Like, I don't know if it was 20 points exactly. I think it was like 19 or something, but they lose by 20 points, I think, weekly. It's just pencil it in. You know, the script is already written. And the Suns having that extra game against Essendon at the end of the year, I think that they're a given for a deep run in finals. I think that puts them top 4, maybe, if my maths is correct. I haven't done the little ladder predictors. I'm too nerdy for me, but you know, it's just, they got that game up their sleeve, which I think they should win. You know, they're going to be dangerous. Port and Freo, fuck me, almost the best result of the round with this one, almost, and then almost the best. That'll make sense. Fuck it, it was close. I really wanted to see Freo lose, and it would have been sick if Port did it. You know, it would have been fucking wicked. And I think the Port were really good this game. I think that Freo were really good this game as well. They both weren't playing like the best footy you've ever seen, but they were playing some pretty like solid. And I liked a lot of what I was seeing. It was fun. It was entertaining. How many fucking times am I going to say that about a good game? It was fun and entertaining. That's what no shit. This is not commentary. This is nothing. It's almost sad for Ken and the boys, because at some point it's like, fuck. I just wish they got one. You know, I just wish. Do it for Ken. He was up and about in the box, and he didn't get it, which, you know, sucks. But in saying that, you know, it's pretty good for Freo. Like, it's got to be good for them as well. They keep doing this thing where they're just winning. They're just getting it done. They're managing to win these close games. You could argue these games shouldn't be this close, but they're getting it done at the end of the day. That's all that matters, really. Their boring form becoming compelling in that it gets the job done. That's the only way I can word it. And look, I'm gonna have to say something here. Prancing Pony, he has that aura, that what the kids call aura. He's got a lot of it. Now I don't know if I like the aura that it's kind of radiating out of the Prancing Pony. The Prancing Pony, it's a fucking weird unit is probably the best descriptive like term I could give to him. But Paddy Voss, you know, he's kind of a serious footballer. I'm sorry, man, he kind of is. It's weird. I don't want to give it to him, but he's got something about him. He's got some swagger about him, just a little bit, but it's there. And then I guess my other takeaway from this is Caleb Strong kind of a toft? Is he kind of like a bit of a, what do I want to say, a bit of a tosser? Oh, I don't know. He just talks like a bit of a toft. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong. Sorry, Caleb Strong, you're a goat. I gotta fucking stop. I don't like this player. Fuck you, Aaron. No, I don't like you, cunt. It's fucking bad. Promote positivity. Giants and North. Stringer's telling me more and more week by week. I'm like, I didn't see the vision. I really didn't. And I think he's playing a role that is fun. You know, it's pretty electric. Come on, kick 3 goals, sub off, or sub on, kick 3 goals, finish the game. I'm liking it. It's winning me over. We looked good in patches. I feel like there were patches where we really let North sort of get the better of us, which we just shouldn't be doing, but we got the win. There were also patches in this game where I think North looked really good. I think that Cooper Tremba, I think is his name, a new player, kicked 3 on his debut. Gotta be fucking happy with that. That's a prospect. How many young little talented prospects have North had? And the system at North is still shit. I don't know, but they were in this game for a bit of it. The umpires were helping us. They kind of thought we were the Pies for a second or something. It was free kick Giants for a fair bit there. There was a kick that I think Griff Logue touched, and it was very fucking obvious that didn't get called touched. There was a few other ones where I think there was a throw that didn't get called. There was a holding the ball that didn't get called. There was a few where like, oh, pretty stiff, you know. And I'm all the Giants, but yeah, I don't want to win by umpire doing the sneaky ones. And again, it's fucking what, 50 odd points? What was it? Yeah, 54 points. So like, I'm not saying that necessarily those moments would have been the deal breakers. It wasn't that tight. But at the same time, I don't think it felt like a 54 point beating from us. I don't think, you know, all the fucking the headlines after is Giants flex their muscles on underdeveloped North and shit. I don't know. I just didn't see it that way. I still see a lot of holes and problems and flaws that we can address and can fix going forward. But it's kind of weird, you know, like I don't see those holes and flaws as much when we verse top end teams. And I'm hoping that they get patched up towards the end of the year, and I hope that we can make a deep run. But it's not looking. Our form is not like as good as it has been towards both last year and the year before, to be honest. And we didn't get those done. There have been other years where I think we have looked better going into the finals, and that makes me nervous. But it also could just be the thing. This could be the year. It's all G. It's all good. There's holes and there's holes in everyone. Look at Collingwood. Look at fucking Adelaide, which we'll get to in a second. But you know, whatever. It's all G. It's all G. What game was after this? Dogs in Melbourne, I think. Surely. Days in the Dogs. Holy fuck! What a game. Another one of those ones where this should have been a blowout. You know, it's like the Freo game. Should have been a blowout. It's like the fucking Sydney and Brisbane game. Should have been a blowout the other way. This one should have been a fucking blowout. The Dogs should have fucking pumped them. Days coming off Goody's sack. They looked cracked. They looked ballistic. To be honest, their ball movement is the best I've seen it in a long time. Best game they've played all year, probably. And look, fucking, I don't want to be rooting for the D's, especially not against the Dogs. I love the Dogs, and I hate the D's. Fuck. I don't really want the Dogs to, you know, take our spot in the 8, so I was rooting for the D's here. No! And then the D's lost. Yeah! It's conflict of emotions. No, it was a good bit of fun though. It was good. It was close to being a crazy upset that didn't happen, but a little bit of a danger game there. But I don't like that one. But Dogs got it done. So that's all about. And then we got the Crows and the Eagles game to wrap it up. And this would have been the biggest upset of all time, I think. Like statistically, I'm pretty sure that's correct. Last beating first. Crazy fucking game. I thought the Eagles are gonna bring it to them for a decent, solid patch of that game. I didn't think that they were gonna be able to like hold on for that long. Until the last 4 minutes of the game, they didn't give up. They were throwing everything at it. Their pressure was so fucking good. I think the little pressure rating thing was saying like 230. You know, that's insane. I know it's not a win, and I know it would be heartbreaking and crushing for some of the boys there, but at the same time, you almost gotta look at it as a moral victory. That is by far the best game they've played all year, by far the best form they've looked, the best intensity, all of it. I I really thought that this was a fucking impressive performance. And it wasn't even that the Crows were dog shit. They were underperforming, that's for sure. And I think that a lot of their movement was getting stifled, and their contest work wasn't that great, oddly, but you know, they had the maturity to, in the dying moments, claw it back convincingly. But holy shit. Just if you're rooting for an upset, this would be the week to get cock teased. You only really got one upset, or two, I guess, if you can count the Hawthorn one. But God, there are a lot of really good fucking games in this week. A great week of watching. Let's start doing the tips for next week so I can go rest my head on a sweet little pillow. Starting off the round, is there no Thursday footy this round? Oh, fuck. That sucks, cunt. Well, starting off the round on Friday, we've got Saints and the Bombers. I know I just spent a fair while saying, like, I might be overrating the Saints as fuck, and the Bombers looked, you know, pretty dangerous. I'm tipping the Saints. I don't know why. Maybe it is just fucking weird bias in my head, but I think the Saints get this done. This is another one of those games where Nasiah can win the game and just add, like, 100 grand to his contract price each time he does it. So it's hard to back Essendon even with how, like, good they are looking in patches. It's hard to back them just because of their injury list, because of that, like, lack of stability, you'd almost say. And now the Saints aren't in the best position either, and I think that there's a lot of fucking internal shit going weird at the Saints at the moment. Their trade period is going to be really interesting, but I've got a little bit more faith in them, a little bit more trust in them, so I'm going to be leading the Saints by what, like 24 points maybe, around that margin, I think. But I expect it to be a good enough game for 3/4 of it, hoping it comes down to the wire. You know, after last week, fucking anything's possible. This could be a blinder. Oh, we got 2 games on Friday night, which is, fuck, I hate when they do this. Holy fuck, the other game starts at 8:35. Dockers and Lions at Optus. I'm tipping the Lions. Dockers are the favourite, and for good reason. I think you could almost argue that they're in compelling form's not really right. Maybe you could almost argue that, but they've been consistent. They're at home, big pressure moments. They could make the 4. That's crazy. They could also not make the 4, maybe. I don't know if they can now that they've won this game. Fucking getting words out. What the fuck, bro? But I just see Brisbane getting that done. They'll be mad disappointed with last week, and I don't know, you know, like in a similar way, Freo would be disappointed that they left it that close and had to scrape back in that. They'd want to be putting on a very, like, threatening performance going into the little stretch of the finals. Last little bit of the home and away season here, where we are really coming to the wrap-up portion of the year, but I don't know, I feel like I've got this thing about Brisbane where I think that they're a mature enough side to respond in a way that you'd think would get them over the line in this one. In my opinion, I think they're winning it, but if Freo do win it, that's like, it's understandable, if that makes sense. I'm giving myself a little bit of an out here. But no, I'm going the Lions. I think that the Lions get it done. Even without fucking Lachie Neale. I think that their list is just better. Their list just is better. And I think that provided some of their keys live up to their capabilities, then I think that the Lions should be winning this one. Fuck, so first game is Saturday. It's the Giants versus the Suns in the fucking middle of the day at People's First. I'm hoping it's fucking not teeming down with sun, because Canberra's pretty fucking cold. So the conditions wise, the Suns are probably, I don't know, man, there's not too much hope for us in this one. I'm tipping us, and when I say there's not too much hope, that's wrong. That's too strong of a statement. We are very much in with a very good chance to win it. This isn't just blind faith. Like, it's almost one of the ones where if we win this, then all of a sudden I'm like, fuck it, we're back in a chance. We can win the grand final easy, brother. I got the confidence. It's a confidence game. It's a confidence game for either team. If the fucking Suns win this one, they are so set, bro. They are so set. So deep in the fucking finals, man. Telling you, danger. Warning sirens going off. But I'm just hoping those sirens are tsunami warnings. That was bad, but we're gonna roll with it. Yeah, look, toss of the coin that's weighted more on their side. They're primed to win this. That's how I word it, but I think we can. I really think we can. I think our second or third quarter against them, I don't remember what quarter it was, like when we played them the last time, and they, like, I know that in the first quarter they came out and fucking belted us. I think they ended up kicking like 7 against us in the first quarter. We can't let that happen again. If they get a lead, anything resembling what they had in that first first time that we clashed this year. They will win the game, I think. I think that they've matured enough and developed more and more as a side throughout the year to where they're not going to let that slip again. But there's a chance that we just get it done. There is a chance, and I'm fingers crossed and a prayer with it. It's a bit of a with your head, not your heart tip. No, other way around, heart, not your head. Rub your tummy, smack your head, or whatever. Fucking, you've got to be pretty impressed with the form line that the Suns have been putting up. They haven't really dropped many that you'd think that they like might. They've been pretty consistent, and they're dangerous. They're dangerous, but we're dangerous too, just when we light it up. So I'm hoping we can light it up. Like I say, conditions provided, we're in with a good shot, and it's a hope and a prayer. Following that, we got Carlton and Port at Marvel. Look, I think Port was much better than Carlton last week, and I think Port actually, you know what? Who have Port got next week? Let me check. Port have got the Suns. I think Port are going to lose against the Suns. I'm changing my tip from Carlton to Port Adelaide. That's crazy. I know. Big. Fuck the favourites, brother. We're going with the underdog. I think that Port have one win left in them, and I don't see them beating the Suns. They're not making the finals. So by process of elimination, they have to win this game. Or I could just be wrong about them having another win in them. They'll do it for Ken, is my brain workings. Fuck it, I'll tip them by 20 points. Carlton lose by 20 points. The rest of the year is a write-off for Michael Voss. He's already confirmed that he's coaching next year. This will just be structure building and just trying to figure out something. Maybe he moves a bunch of magnets around and he starts playing experimental footy. That'll be fun. That'll be good. That actually probably genuinely would be good for Carlton for figuring out what the fuck is the go gonna be next year. Move some shit around, play some experiments, blood some youngs, do something. But I don't know. I've changed my tune from whenever I fucking selected these at the start of the week, and I'm going to be tipping Port. Yeah. After that one, we got Hawks and Melbourne at the MCG. Now, Melbourne were really good against the Dogs. Really fucking good. They looked electric with their ball movement. Hawthorn, I don't know. They had the biggest flex of the round last week against the Pies. I think they continue that momentum and they make a real deep push for finals. So I'm going to take Hawthorn in that one kind of comfortably. Then this is the one I'm most excited for, other than our game. Saturday is a blinder for footy, and I'm working during all of the fucking games. So if you find me with a fucking noose around my neck, you'll know why. Collingwood and Adelaide at Adelaide Oval. I'm tipping Adelaide, and I would have been tipping, like, I knew this game was coming from like 3 weeks ago because of the way that the end of the season was playing out, which games are important, whatever. You hear that this is coming up fixture-wise, and for that entire month, I've been very confident that I'm going to tip Adelaide. Like I've said, Adelaide and the Dogs, outside of us, my favourite teams to watch. I think that their brands of footy are so exciting. They should win, but there is this little part of my brain that thinks Collingwood might win. Might. I'm not going to tip it, and I'm not even going to say that anything of their last fucking month and a bit indicates that they should or will, but there is just this little something that they should have something to prove. That is the perfect time to make that point and to prove that point. Again, nowhere near confident enough to tip it, and it's maybe just a little bit of that old Pie supporter in me, like still clawing on and trying to. The Pies are still goated, bro. The Pies are still really goated. Their system. It'll fix itself. No, I don't know, but just, it's a watch. It's a definite must watch. I don't think the Pies will be dog shit in this game. And if they are, something bigger is sort of going on, is the only way I can really explain it. If, again, all the keys don't activate and everyone looks tired and sloppy and sore, I don't know, maybe they just ran the year out too early and something happened, but go the Crows. Is that the last game? Fuck, we still got Sunday. North and Richmond at Ninja Stadium. I'm tipping Richmond. I want to be wrong. Please tell me I'm going to be wrong. I'm not going to elaborate. I will talk about all of this next week in the recap, because there's so much I want to say, but my camera's about to die and I'm dizzy. After that, we've got Swans and the Cats at the SCG. This will be a really good fucking game. The Swans have a really good record against the Cats at the SCG. The Swans are in some fucking great form right now. It's kind of crazy form. It's doable. I'm still going to tip the Cats. You've got to lean with the Cats. One of them is a finals team and the other is not, and that just means different things. Sydney, I think, are coming for scalps, and they got one. Do they want two? Do they want two enough? You know, is the grand final rematch sort of what sparked that drive and that hunger last week? I don't know, but they also, you know, beat the Cats last year in the finals, so it's a weird one. It's a weird one. It's a bit of it's another one to watch where it could go the other way, but I'm leaning Geelong. And then Eagles and the Dogs at Marvel to round the game, end the round out. I'm gonna go with the Dogs for that one. Yes, Eagles were really fucking great last week. I don't know if they can put put that 2 weeks to get like together, just on terms of physicality and turnaround and shit like that. I know it's a pretty big turnaround and shit, but still, the travel, all of it, I don't know. I'm leaning the dogs. Safer tip. Could be sneaky, but no, I'm gonna go with the dogs for that one. And that does the week. That does everything. God, what about that fucking moon trip, man? I still haven't really gotten over it. The things that I've seen. Let's just say I probably won't be going back there. It's not for me, you know. It's I'll be sticking it here on Earth, unfortunately, here with all the fucking corrupted souls and the evil grips of a capitalist imperialist empire that took over the world. Fuck the West. Fuck everything. Whatever. Yeah.